For this Hapkido tip, I want to talk about a principle where we anchor our elbow to our hip and we use our body to get the reaction we want. Now, it's really easy to show with this wrist grab. So really simple, if he's not holding tight, I can come under here and reverse his hand around. And from here we can go up into a come along, or there's some other different things we can do, a lot of different techniques once we have that grip. The problem is, if he's holding tight, to get your hand around to do that is difficult. So instead of fighting him arm against arm, and we're the same size, it's going to be really tough to do. So I'm going to anchor right here to my hip, and I'm pulling it over here, right? We're in the center of my body. And then I'm going to use my whole body weight to pull him back, and I'm using the hip to go under, and then the hip to push forward the way it's anchored, and now I'm right where I'd want to be if I'm doing this technique or maybe one of the other techniques. And even if he's holding tight, you get this anchor, and now it's not arm against arm, it's my body against his arm to go in with the technique, okay? So I want you to play around with that and see how anchoring can do this. Another escape that we use sometimes, where we want to come here like this, and we get that arm straight, and this is a good one to go into some different techniques. But I see some people that are trying this, and if he's strong, and I can't roll his fingers if we're going arm against arm. I anchor it, I pull it here to my center, and then I use my hips to straighten his fingers. I'm not trying to use my arm strength, I'm using this to get his fingers back, and then I can go into the technique. So using our hips in that anchor works for a lot of different things. Another one, I come in here, I anchor it, I move it back, then I do a circle and I'm moving my hips, and now I'm into a different technique. But rather than try to do this, out here and it's arm against arm, it's so much easier to do it when it's all anchored. So that's just a principle that I want you to play with and see how you can do that with those techniques that I just showed you and other things you're doing where you move from the center and control your opponent with your body rather than trying to muscle him with your arms.